first week of testimony in the Derek Chauvin trial is over. He, of course, is the former Minneapolis police officer accused of killing George Floyd last May. ABC 6 News reporter Mackenzie Davis joins me live in the studio tonight to recap the courtroom highlights this week and to show us what happened today. Mackenzie.
Ross, this week 19 witnesses testified. 2 high-ranked police officials denounced Chauvin's actions. The jury saw a video from at least 6 different angles, and an off-duty firefighter said the officers did not let her help. Looking back to the start of the week on Monday, we had the opening statements. On Tuesday, 18-year-old witness Darnella Frazier took the stand. She shot that viral bystander video. On Wednesday, we heard from 19-year-old store clerk Christopher Martin, who testified Floyd had been in Cup Foods buying food and cigarettes. Martin said he did not think the $20 bill Floyd used to pay was real, but he did not stop the transaction. Instead, he was sent outside to stop him while his boss called police. Martin says he feels guilty for the arrest and death of Floyd because he feels that if he kept his mouth shut, Floyd would still be alive. Also on Wednesday, we saw a new body camera video that was disturbing to one of the jurors who asked to take a break. Thursday, first responders and Floyd's girlfriend testified. 2 paramedics who responded to the 911 call testified that Floyd did not have a pulse right when they arrived on the scene. Floyd's girlfriend, Courtney Ross, tearfully testified about how they met and how they both struggled with opioid addictions. And here's what happened in the Minneapolis courtroom today. We heard from 2 police officials from the Minneapolis Police Department, Sergeant John Edwards and Lieutenant Richard Zimmerman. Sergeant Edwards is on leave right now. He was on the dog watch shift the night of May 25th, 2020, after the incident.
Are you familiar with an individual named Derek Chauvin?
Not personally, but I do know who he is.
Okay. Do you believe you'd recognize him if you saw him?
Absolutely. I don't know him personally. We worked out of the same building, but we worked on different shifts. I wasn't his direct supervisor.
Sort of a name and face recognition.
Absolutely.
Never socialized outside of work?
No.
Edwards could point out Chauvin in the courtroom. Sergeant David Pluger of Minneapolis Police Department was the shift supervisor in charge of Chauvin and the 3 other officers responding to the call at Cup Foods.
Sergeant Pluger informed me that he was at the hospital at that time, and he was with a male that he described may or may not live. Later on in the night, I found out that that male was Mr. Floyd. He said he was down there at the hospital. He asked me if I would be willing to respond to the incident location of 38th in Chicago because he was tied up at the hospital at the time.
They had to secure the area. It was a critical incident crime scene, one with an officer involved and someone who was severely hurt or died. Zimmerman says he has the most seniority of anyone at the Minneapolis Police Department. He is the longest-serving officer in the department.
So basically, the use of force continuum is guidelines, or it's policy actually, that we have to follow. The top level on the continuum is deadly force.
The different levels of force are relative to the threat.
If your knee is on a person's neck, that can kill him.
It was a short court session today. The judge says the prosecution is ahead of schedule presenting its case. The trial resumes Monday morning. Ross.